have to tell you, America, boy, Gretch, did we happen to roll tape on what happened in the middle of this, in the commercial break?
We did not know.
Who thinks that he told me that what was it? I thought he said I hate black people. How many here thought he said that? As soon as the cameras went off, that's just me and Aaron. You thought he. I was afraid of black people. That's actually what he said to me. Let's just take it at that, because that's better than I hate black people. I was standing here, and he gets up, and I said, "You, sir, and your organization are bad for America." And he said, "I'll use yours. You're just afraid of black people." I threw him out of the studio. Get the hell out of my studio. And then he went off. He went off. John Fund is here. He's from the Wall Street Journal. He's a columnist. He's been following these. He's the author of Stealing Elections. You've been following these people for a very long time. Are you afraid of black people, or you just hate them, John?
Well, I've interviewed all of the ACORN 8. The ACORN 8 are former ACORN board members who have been kicked out of the organization because they've demanded an audit of its finances and say the organization has been hijacked by people who've turned the place into a racket. And these ACORN 8, all 8 of them are African Americans. They're very compelling people.
They're African Americans and they left and they don't like ACORN?
Well, they think ACORN had a good mission to start out with, but it's been hijacked and has basically gone into a lot of areas that are highly problematic.
Are they afraid of themselves?
Look, I think the real issue here is ACORN thinks it has friends in high places now. It has President Obama, who was a former lawyer and has been involved with ACORN's Project Vote in the past.
By the way, the dirtbag, in my opinion, the dirtbag that was just in here a minute ago, I asked him when he sat down, I said, "So what did you do before this?" And he said, "Well, I've always been a community organizer." I said, "Well, what did you do before this?" And he said, "I was a union organizer." I said, "Oh, what a surprise that is." Anyway, Bonnie Greathouse, she is the head organizer of the Las Vegas office. She said she doesn't expect any fallout from the charges. She said, quote, "We've had bad publicity before, and all it does is inform the community that we're here working for the community. People always come forward to our defense. We're just community organizers, just like the president used to be." What's that tell you?
Well, I think there's a split among the Democrats on the ground and the Democrats in Washington. The Democrats in Washington seem to have no interest in looking into all of these problems with ACORN, which go into housing and go into the use of government contracts and things like that. And then the Democrats on the ground, so many of them have problems with ACORN. Fred Voigt, who's the deputy city commissioner in Philadelphia, 8,000 fraudulent registrations in Philadelphia. Move across the country to St. Louis. Matt Potter.
Hold it just a second. Who in Philadelphia and how much fraud? Philadelphia, not exactly. I lived in Philadelphia. Not really a clean city, you know, politics.
There are some precincts where there are more people registered to vote there than there are adults over the age of 18.
Yeah,
that gives you a problem.
All right, so wait a minute. Who is the Republican hate monger that ratted out ACORN in Philadelphia?
I'm sure there are Republicans who've been critical of ACORN, but moving across the country to St. Louis, Matt Potter, the deputy election director, he's a Democrat. He says, "I met with ACORN. I told them, look, you messed up the last election, don't mess up this election." He said they did the same thing that they did in the last election. They submitted a bunch of fraudulent forms. Then you go all the way out to Nevada, and you've got the Democratic Attorney General and the Democratic Secretary of State filing charges. And by the way, it's not against the employees, it's against ACORN itself. And by the way, he says it was just one employee.
Yeah.
But one of the people indicted was the regional director for voter registration for ACORN. The regional director is not just one employee, that's the person in charge of the whole region.
Stop. They said it would stop. It would stop. It's like the guy in Burger King taking a bath
in Seattle 2 years ago. They paid a $25,000 fine. Not an employee, ACORN itself paid a $25,000 fine. It signed a consent decree saying we're not going to have these practices anymore. Well, here we are. In state after state, the practices seem to continue.
I think everybody's asking the same thing. Why are you afraid of black people?
Okay, I think ACORN has done some good work, but the people who did the good work have resigned in the past. But the people they have resigned or been kicked out of the organization, like they call themselves the ACORN 8. They are suing ACORN, demanding to look at the books.
You know what, America, we're gonna stay on this one because there's something really bad here. You've known it for a while. We'll bring it to you.